This is Solo P1. Welcome to the podcast, round 8, the debrief, episode 54, 2025 Monaco Grand Prix race weekend review. And for everybody who's listening on the podcast, the iTunes, Spotify, or Stitcher or Amazon Music, remember to recommend the audio to your friends. And if you don't want to listen to it on audio, we're on YouTube as well, on Keep It Sports. So, before we start getting into the review of the weekend, the debrief, something happened yesterday in Liverpool. We was at a football parade, me and Toto Hammer and some friends, and disaster struck out. We left, I think it was 30 to 40 minutes before it happened. Because we just wanted to get back. We didn't want to get stuck in the rush with the traffic. And but about 30 to 40 minutes after we left, disaster struck in Liverpool. And if you want to know more about the incident, you can go online. I'm not going to get into what happened, but I just want to pay tribute to the people that put themselves out there and offered people shelter in Liverpool. They didn't even know them. That was going online yesterday. That was putting it out there and saying, look, if you need somewhere to stay, I got a 3-bedroom house. You can come and stay here for the night, because a lot of people got stranded. In Liverpool. And I want to thank them people. They're the heroes that put out there. This is why this fan base is so special, and that we collaborate, we'll come together and as one, as a Liverpool fan base. But I want to pay tribute to those. And my prayers with the families and friends, whoever was there, if you're affected by what happened yesterday. So that's me on that one. So we're gonna talk about the Formula One now, the Monaco Grand Prix race weekend review. So usually I come here and I shout out Toto and I start being loud, but for today I'm not really gonna do that. So. I'm going to bring in my Coke, who's my partner in crime, Toto Hammer. How's it going, bro? Well, no, how's it going? Because you were with me yesterday. But how's it going, bro?
Yeah, it's going well. It's going well, man. Just, just been trying to recap myself from the F1 weekend.
And what happened yesterday as well. My thoughts and prayers with everyone. Me and Toto was there, but we, like I said, we left after.
We're looking.
We left before, sorry.
Looking at to get involved in all that.
No, we left just at the right time, innit? But I wish I was there to help people as well, But
yeah. It was a shame, man, because it just ruined everything. You can see how the Hillsborough disaster happened. We won the league that year, but that they never really remember that. They just remember the Hillsborough disaster. It was like with this parade. Now people are going to name it the parade incident.
Yeah,
and what people. Injured, getting hurt. It's not a good thing to remember.
No,
it's supposed to be our special moment. It's supposed to be our special parade.
Yeah,
and he got ruined by an idiot, probably drunk. Going through everyone in the parade. And
I don't want to say. I just want to say, look, I'm going to big up to everyone who's there to help people out. So let's move on to the Formula One race weekend. Regarding what happened. So we're going to go through it briefly, then we'll go through it with the notes. Obviously, we'll go through it with the notes and we'll talk about what happened. Lando Norris, winner of the 2025 Monaco Grand Prix. Well done. Congratulations to Lando Norris. Big up to him, man. So briefly, before we start talking about the practice sessions and stuff like that, what did you think of Lando Norris?
McLaren, showing their pace again. They're fast on the straights and in tight corners. And you know how this track is like, it's all about downforce.
Yeah.
It's all about downforce. And McLaren has nailed that for this weekend.
What do you think? It's good for him, though, that he won it?
Yeah, it's good for Lando. And he's only now 3 points behind Piastri.
Yeah.
Which, he's made an incredible comeback. From Piastri dominating the championship by 40 plus points. he's clinched that back within the space of 2 races. So that's good for Lando. Hopefully he can carry on this form. Of course, Piastri's still ahead of the championship, but by barely anything now, 3 points. But first place is first place. So Lando's just got to focus on keep winning basically, and that's how he clinched it. That's
it's basically now between those two. Now I don't know where the media are trying to spin it that Max is in it as well. No, it's between the 2 McLaren drivers. I know they can say, it's a 3-way fight. No 3-way fight, man. It's a 2-way fight, and that's it. Before we start getting into the reviews, talk about practice session and stuff like that, what about the flipping Lewis Hamilton's car? What's going on with Lewis Hamilton? It doesn't make sense. He came in, put his tires on, he was on a good strategy, and he just lost time. He just lost time, man. He lost about 25 seconds, maybe more, when he come out on fresh tires. Didn't make sense to me at all. It just didn't make sense. And people will be getting to question Ferrari about what's going on with Lewis Hamilton's car. How can Lewis Hamilton's car just suddenly drop off? I know that they're doing a debrief after. Nothing's really come of it at the moment.
It hasn't really been
nothing's come out of it. I just don't understand what's going on with Lewis's car.
And it hasn't even been a great weekend for Lewis. Receiving that grid penalty. 3+ grid penalty.
Because of the team.
Didn't told him at the wrong time.
No. They said he was on. He said he was going slowly, and then after when he passed him, when he was going 100 miles per hour, then they told him, it's going fast.
Lewis was raised on the radio for Ferrari's incompetence.
It's like the I'm not going to come out and say because there's no proof of it. It's like they're just they're just like self-sabotaging him.
That's what I think as well. It's like last race, how good he was last race. They got the strategy right. Yeah. And all of a sudden, how can you be 45 seconds behind your teammate, which I don't get in a similar car?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And there's a big difference every single time, even when he's on good tyres, fresh tyres, he still was getting nowhere near close to Leclerc.
No.
45 seconds behind when Leclerc was challenging for the podium.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hamilton was 45 seconds behind in 5th place. And Hamilton don't want to finish 5th place. He wants to at least finish or have a feeling that he's fought for the podium. Yeah. And Hamilton knows this. This is why he's always getting enraged with his engineer all the time, because the engineer's being incompetent. Yeah, it takes ages to to build a good relationship with his race engineer, but the race engineer is like, he's very, very delayed. He's slow at processing things. Like, Ferrari's partly to blame for the 3+ grid penalty he got. He shouldn't have got that 3+ grid penalty.
No. They are to blame.
Exactly.
They are to blame. That's it. They are to blame. They are to blame because Lewis Hamilton hasn't got X-ray vision. He can't see what's behind him. You get me? He hasn't got eyes in the back of his head. So all he knows is what the engineer tells him on the radio. Now, what they said is, I think they said something like, there's a car coming, the Max car coming, it's a bit slow. It'll be all right. And then all of a sudden, when he just suddenly passed him, it's like he was in no. If they would have said he was coming, that maybe Lewis could have moved over. I know. Monaco's narrow, but maybe could have made a little space for Max Verstappen. But they never. As soon as he passed him, when it was too late, when he infringed his time, when he blocked his time, and he wasn't deliberately, because of the Ferrari didn't tell him. And after they told him when it was too late, by then the penalty was coming. And Max Verstappen, all credit to him, he was in an interview after, and he said he don't blame Lewis, he blames the team. He said he don't blame Lewis because he only knows what the team tells him. Now, if the team would have informed him correctly, it would have been a different matter. But they never. So it was the team's fault.
This move to Ferrari, I know it's in early stages, but it's been a bad decision. I'm saying now, I'm just wish, yeah, we had the all big up. Oh yeah, he's going to Ferrari. Yeah, but where's the results?
Yeah, no, he's had a good result, but he got taken away from him.
I don't care about this glitz glamour. I don't care. Yeah, mate, look, it's a big thing that he's going to Ferrari, but where's the results? You know what I mean? It's like, oh yeah, your favourite's going into here. Oh, this is one of my best traps. Where's the results? Yeah. I want to see results at the end of it. And Lewis Hamilton ain't getting results at all. Like the good race is Emilia. That was the only good race, that I saw him this when he got 4th place and he was in his car looked quick, and all of a sudden he's 45 seconds behind his teammate. And don't tell me that they got the same car. No, they haven't got the same car. Lewis Hamilton is an 8-time world champion in my book. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a legend of the sport.
Some people say he's a 9.
Exactly. Arguably, the GOAT of the sport of all time. Arguably. Yeah. Right. And they're treating Lewis like a second driver, like he's a piece of crap.
I know.
Do you know what I mean?
I don't know about the piece of crap. I don't know about the piece of crap, but there's something not right at the moment at Ferrari.
And his race engineer is very, very incompetent. Oh, and he's getting angry at him. You don't understand common sense. Lewis literally asked, what is the gap between me and Leclerc? And he said, Leclerc's on the medium tyres. He didn't ask for the tyres. He asked for how long is Leclerc.
Yeah.
He didn't ask for the tyre. He didn't ask
I know.
and
I don't think it's the language barrier. I think that's. They can speak English. The Ferrari guys, they can speak English good enough. You hear them on the radio. They're not silly. They're intelligent people. They can speak English. They understand both languages. When it comes to the language barrier, I just don't trust it. I mean, I don't believe it when they say it's a language thing. No. They know the basics. When you're on the radio to your engineer, it's not Harvard language. It's basic. You say, look, there's a guy behind you coming. They could have turned around and said, look, there's a guy. Max is coming fast. Be careful. But they never. They told him too late. They said he was just going on a slow lap or something like that. So it's just, it's just ridiculous when people come out with stuff like that. It's just ridiculous. So what we're going to do, we're going to start getting into the review because it's a debrief. This one goes on audio podcast. We're going to try and let this run for about just over 30 minutes. So let's start with the practice one briefly. The session was marked with a red flag due to a crash involving Lewis Hamilton. Despite at the beginning, Lewis Hamilton in practice one, he kind of grazed the side. I don't think he could continue. What do you think of that when Lewis Hamilton hit the side with his car?
Like in
practice one, yeah.
Practice one, Lewis hit the side of his side
of his car. Yeah.
Look, in my opinion, this is a general point of view on the situation. I just think this proves that Monaco needs to be one of the tracks that's scrapped. In my opinion, I
agree as well.
You can see Lewis's car; it's really, really wide. Every single season, these cars are getting wider and wider. Even in Ayrton Senna's days, I mentioned this before. Senna and Mansell, all Senna had to do is put his car in the middle, and he's won the race. Ricciardo, he had an engine failure, and all he had to do is plant his car in the middle. No one can get past him. No. Unless for some reason the engine had a complete blowout and he had to go in a rough area somewhere. But that's it. All you have to do is plant your car in the middle and you're not overtaking no one.
No, not at all.
With Lewis, what could he possibly do? It's like the car is simply too big for this track. It's too narrow. It's like the only time really drivers have any space is the bridge section.
Yeah.
Not even the main straight. Using the main straight, it's the widest. But the
I think I know what you're saying, but I just want to briefly go over it because I want to get to the qualifying and that. But I know what you're saying. When I first saw this happen, when Lewis Hamilton was when he grazed the side and I saw him, the car was damaged. I thought it's just going to be one of those weekends. That was the red flag, they had the flag to say, something's not going to be right here. But the end of practice one, Piastri got the fastest time, 1 minute 12.6. So Piastri showing his performance early days in practice session. The session was characterized by tight margins with the top 4 drivers separated by only 0.3 seconds. They were the top 4 drivers at the end of practice one. So notably, Ferrari's Charles Leclerc was among the top contenders, reflecting his strong pace in the early stages of the weekend. Now, at the end of practice one, the first thing I thought was Toto is Charles is getting this. He's last year's pole sitter, and this track, it's not about speed, it's about skill. You get me? Other tracks, if you got the fastest car, you'll most likely get the pole in it. But with this track, it's not always the fastest track. It's who's got the best cornering and slow speed corners. This as a driver.
Qualifying, you need to have a good qualifying for this track.
Yeah, it's not always about the fastest car. Yeah.
And going into this weekend, I'm not sure if I'm going too far here. They brought in the new two pit stop, mandatory 2 pit stop.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute. We'll get to that. Yeah. But I know what you're saying. Yeah, I know. Good that you know what, I actually forgot about that. You know, now you said that, I actually forgot about it. You go ahead, you can talk about it. Go on.
Yeah, 2 stop, mandatory pit stop. I reckon it's let's face it, from to be straight here, it's the only bit of interest we're going to get that whole weekend. Is a 2 pit stop. You know, teams like in the race, you had teams like, you know, Williams and Mercedes that tried to delay the pit stop strategy. I reckon it was a bit interesting because some teams pitted earlier than others. We was expecting teams to pit lap 1. Some teams even pitted lap 4 early. Yeah. And of course, when the safety car comes out and the VSC comes out, it starts to make stuff interesting. It starts to play with people's strategies, and it could change positions. So
I know. Okay,
drivers like Tsunoda and that. Tsunoda take advantage of it well, pitting very early as soon as the VSC came out.
I know. But we're going to talk about that more on and out because we're going to get through these practices because I want it to go on to because this is going on the audio. Practice 2, Hadjar crashed his car coming out of the chicane by the swimming pool. So Hadjar not having the best of luck in practice 2. It was 10 minutes until the Grand Prix resumed. So Hadjar crashed his car, wasn't really happy about it, as you wouldn't. And it was delayed by about 10 minutes. So the only thing with practice sessions, when there's a delay, you know that they don't stop the time, which I don't agree with. I think they should pause it at least for the minimal of 5 minutes to see what happens. But they don't just let the time tick over. That's the rules of Formula 1, which maybe that's something they could look into in the future. It was always the same crap in Monaco. 3 podiums with Carlos Sainz goes out first. He's had 3 podiums there. Carlos Sainz goes out in first. After the crash, he goes for a lap and locks up his brakes instantly. So Sainz was eager to come out of the pits after the resume of Hadjar's crash. Oscar Piastri went into the barrier. See, when I saw Oscar Piastri go into the barrier, you know when it first starts, you know that first corner what goes up the hill, just before it goes there, there's a barrier there, and he hit the barrier, but nothing really was wrong with his car. It was one of those barriers. You know what? When you go into the barrier, it's like a soft one.
Which one? The chicane or?
Yeah. So you know when it goes lights out the way we go. You know when you go that first or that corner, that first run-off area. He went into that barrier there. Oscar Piastri went into the barrier, and I thought he was at the practice, but he just continued. He went back to the garage. And it was fine. Not even 10 minutes, and Oscar was already ready to go, doing fastest laps around Monaco. So obviously he wasn't affected by that. And that was the only thing really happened in practice 2. Haas. He goes hard. Ollie Bierman was hit, got a 10-second grid penalty for Monaco Grand Prix after the stewards found him guilty of a red flag breach during practice session. So there was a red flag breach during that session, and BMN got a 10-second time penalty for that. When I was actually watching it, the television cameras replays showed BMN operating overtaking Carlos Sainz under the red flag. So you can't do that. That's the reason why you got the 10-second time penalty, and they saw this and it got announced. But what was weird, and it got announced just before practice 3. So we're going into practice 3 now. In the final practice session, the 2025 Grand Prix, Charles Leclerc topped the timesheets with the best lap. This is what I was saying at the beginning when we were talking about practice 1. My favourite for this was Charles Leclerc, only because he won it last season and he's from Monaco and he's got the fans behind him, obviously. But I just thought he was ready to get pole here. The time was a 1:11.3. And second was Max Verstappen, and third was Lewis Hamilton. So Lewis Hamilton coming third in practice 3. This is what I was talking about. I know people hasn't always got the engines turned up, and they like to wait to qualify, but Lewis still pulled out a good lap. And that's it. So that was in there. So what did you think of practice altogether with Lewis Hamilton getting third, Charles first, second, Max Verstappen?
To be honest, I did catch a bit of practice. I caught about a bit of practice 3 actually, and the Ferraris looked decent, man. The Ferraris did look decent. I thought Leclerc was going to get pole because it being a Monegascan, and they probably set up, his car for this track, for his home track, so we can do the best at. It's like the way Lewis, for an example, Mercedes just set up his car for the Silverstone track to make him, get the best chance to get a podium at his home track. So I thought Leclerc was going to do well. In qualifying, he did all right, but in the practice, he did look really, really good. All 3 practice sessions, Ferrari looked good. I thought Lewis was going to be up there as well, but I always thought Leclerc was going to be ahead of Lewis since he's the Monegasque and his home track. So and Leclerc's all right here as well. He won it.
He got it last year.
Yeah, exactly. He's decent around here. So I was expecting Leclerc to do well, which he did all right in the foreshadowing the qualifying sessions. But in practice, Ferrari did really well, and they were going into the weekend with high hopes to get a good result. Leclerc did get good results, to be fair. If you think about it.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. It's good, man. It was, but like to say, with practice, Toto, it's just practice, isn't it?
Yeah,
We'll see what happens. So let's go to qualifying. This is where it all happened with Lewis Hamilton. There was a miscommunication between Max and Lewis impeding. He got done for impeding, and they gave him a free place grid penalty? For me, it was the engineer's fault. They didn't inform Lewis. Yeah. The communication between him and his engineer was just, look, people say, oh yeah, Bono, and people say, oh, he's a new engineer, but that's the basics. That's the basics. If someone's coming and they're going fast, you've got to inform your driver, not say he's going small, he's going slow. That's the basics. You don't have to be working with your engineer, for 3 years. No, for 3 years to know that. You should know that after a week. That's basics. Cars coming fast. Lewis, Max is coming fast. Be careful. It's very simple. Look, they've got all the data in front of them. They can see everybody on the track. So that's just suspicious to me. Anyway, Antonelli kissed the barrier coming out of the tunnel, out of the qualifying session as well.
Yeah, Mercedes had a howler.
That was Guiano. And Russell also. Now I'll get into Russell in a minute. But that was the end of Q1. So he came out of the barrier. I think he was still fine after that. Q2, Russell out of the qualifying straight away. As soon as he hit that road, his engine completely switched off just like that. As soon as Q2 started, Russell came out the pits. He went up the hill. He went over a little bump in the middle of the road, and his car just shut off like that. So that was Russell's qualifying. Gone straight away out of qualifying. As soon as he hit the road, he just stopped working. He tried to bum start it old school. He tried to get the engineers to come out and try and push the car. I don't think you're allowed to do that, but he tried. You know what Russell's like. He always thinks outside the box. That's what I like about him, you get me? He tried to get it going. Weren't happening. So basically the restarts, mostly everyone was on the soft tyres, apart from Leclerc, Albon, Hamilton. And apart from Leclerc, everybody was on the soft tyres. Leclerc was on the medium tyres. So, at the end of Q2, Hamilton, Albon, Sainz, I think they was on the medium as well. 5 minutes to go. Leclerc and Hamilton are both on top. So about 5 minutes to go before qualifying. Again, Hamilton and Leclerc showing speed in that Ferrari.
Just like in the practice.
So it's looking good for the Ferraris. The commentators were saying it's looking good for the Ferraris. We thought it was. It is what it is. That was 5 minutes towards the end, but right at the end of qualifying, Norris tops the charts and come the fastest in Q2. Albon was third in practice. We're going into practice 3 now. No, qualifying 3, sorry. So Q3, first run, Norris tops the chart straight away. So by this point, you could see what was going on. Lando Norris doing the Lewis Hamilton style, waiting to the last Q3 to show his speed. So what was your thoughts on this total? Before we went forward and Lando Norris was at the beginning of Q3 when he topped the charts, what were your thoughts?
No, of course, Lando was showing his strength. Of course, we didn't see it too much in the practice session. You can see how good McLaren is around here, including aerodynamics, downforce, same thing really. I know. But you can see how good the McLaren was, and Lando was looking all right going into this weekend. Of course, Ferrari stole the show in the practice sessions, but Lando was always there, hovering about top 3, top 4. And he got better as a teammate as the quali went on.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, Lando was doing well. He was looking good to get pole. He was definitely up there for the pole race. And yeah, it's good for Lando, man, because at the end of the day, he needs as much qualifying as he needs, much advantage as he needs. Because if he's going to go win this title, he's got to start winning some races. So yeah, Lando doing really well.
So at the end of the Q3, Lando topped the charts. Piastri, Leclerc. Piastri comes second. Leclerc was third. Max fourth. That was at the beginning. Oscar's rear end kept slipping out. Basically, through practice, this is the only thing with Oscar's car. For some reason, the rear of his car, every time he hit that corner, it was bottling out, basically, just going back, and he was losing time. I believe if McLaren would have got addressed that properly, I reckon he would have got pole over Lando. That's where he was losing his time. He still got in the top three. He was still good. But there was something not right with that car, with Piastri's car. The second run, the two McLarens went early, topped the chart. So you had Norris on the top with a 1 minute 10-1, and Piastri was just behind him. So you could see the favourites were McLarens. 1 minute to go. Hamilton going on his run. Hamilton gets fourth. Charles tops the chart. So by this point, Lewis was fourth, and Charles was top. So we thought that's it. There you go. He's got the pole. And all of a sudden, the McLarens went out. Piastri, not so good in the middle sector. He lost time in the middle sector. That's the way it's more turns in the middle sector. Again, like I told you about his rear end. Started boom, 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 moving around. So we lost some time in the middle sector.
Strong way around for this track.
And and then it went down to Norris. I think Piastri come third. It was down to Norris. Norris topped the charts, got pole, got 1 minute 9. And the end of it was Norris 1, second Leclerc, and third Piastri, and fourth was Hamilton. Fifth was Max Verstappen. And then at the end, we know what happened with the penalty Lewis got, and it went down 3-place group penalty. So there you go. McLaren's showing their speed total in qualifying.
Yeah, McLaren did show the speed and the strengths, both. This proves that, why McLaren is leading the championship battle in the constructors and in the drivers. You can see
they've won the constructors.
Their car, the constructors was over in the first two races.
Over. It's a wrap.
First two races done, finished.
I'd say that. I know you said. I'd say the first four. I think after round 4, he was over.
I just think, you can argue about that because the first two races you can see where the constructors was going. It's not like a clear winner, but I thought first two races,
yeah. That's what you think, isn't it?
McLaren is the overall most balanced car, the most aerodynamics. Their drag on the straights is really, really good. Straight line speed. So just what can you say to McLaren? McLaren's such a good car. It just proves that Lando's got the pace under him, which is very, very rhetorical. And Piastri,
you're right, Toto. You're right, 100% right. I totally agree with you. That McLaren is fast. It's good everywhere. Like Jensen Button says, you get some cars that are good at certain places. Like you might have Red Bull good at certain tracks. The Ferrari good at certain tracks, but the McLaren are good everywhere. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go into the race review. We're 30 minutes into the video, 29 minutes into the video. Remember, guys, if you're watching this on the replay, can you please smack the like button? Smack the like button. It's so essential. It's so pivotal in our YouTube journey that you smack the like button. We need the likes because once you smack the like button, it gets us out there in the algorithm and more people watch us and then we grow more. So it is the road to 9K. Really, I should say 10K subscribers, but we're nearly at 9K. It's going to be on the road to 9K subscribers, and please subscribe as well. And for people listening on the audio, I haven't forgot about you. Spotify, Amazon, Stitcher. Please recommend the audio and please leave a review. If you leave a review on iTunes, it pushes our audio out there as well. Remember that. So we're going to get into the race review now. Race starts. Lights out, and away we go. Finally, Crafty is back. Crafty's back. It's nice to get Crafty back. Race day, lap 1, Lando, good start. Slight lock up in the first. I thought, here we go. He scolded his tyres. But the only thing, when you scold your tyres, Monaco, you can still win the race, by the way. Remember that one a couple of years ago, Toto, when Thingy was chasing, it was Hamilton in front, and Ricciardo was chasing him, and then Lewis' tyres were shut, but he still won, innit?
Yeah.
He shot.
Like with Ricciardo as well. Had an engine problem and still won the race.
So there you go. So lap 1, Lando, good start, slight lock up in the first corner. Charles and Piastri, second and third. Bortello into the barrier. So Bortello went into the barrier and it was night from him. So what do you think so far when Lando starts as well?
Lando, I think the main concentration for Lando is getting that first corner and getting a good start, because that first corner, it can get a bit scrappy. And it can, some people might sneak around the outside going into Sandoval, which is the first corner. Lando, good start, good first corner. And I was thinking, look, let's get the strategy right, because it's mandatory 2 stops. Get the strategy right and you've won the race. Because let's face it, no one's going to get past you.
Yeah, and the safety car brought out as well. Remember, guys, when we were told us at the beginning, it's a mandatory pit stop. Mandatory, not just 1, but 2. So, I thought it was okay. We'll talk about it after, but it was a mandatory pit stop. So after the good start for Lando Norris, Bortello went into the barrier. His boy Kimi Antonelli scolded his car. He brought out the safety car. Tsunoda pitted and Gasly under the safety car. So they were the first 2 to pit under the safety car. It resumed after lap 5. No further investigation between Bortello and Kimi. So Kimi got off with it. I don't think there was much in it as well. There was no bad intentions by Kimi Antonelli. And Bortello was out of the race. So double wave yellow lines. Gasly lap 9. Coming to the pit, straight into the back of Tsunoda. Because he went to the back of Tsunoda. The pits. Car slowed down. Then all of a sudden, Piastri and Max was racing under the green flag. After the green flag. And it was supposed to be a double yellow line. So there was investigation regarding that. I don't think anything coming out of that, which was weird. Lap 13 resumed. The 2 McLarens have the advantage going into this race at the medium. So, but this is what I was happening about the McLarens, what the clever was. Their compound was started on the mediums, hard to hard. The other people's compound was medium, soft, then hard, or something like that. But they had the best tire compound. Started on the medium, and the 2 times they're coming out the hard. And for me, for the weekend, the hard tires was the best.
It was
tire for me.
You had someone like what's his name, Oscar Piastri.
Yeah.
He went on the mediums first, and then he did a short 5-4 lap stint on the soft, and then went straight back onto the hards. To the end of the race. So yeah, hards is always the main tire,
best tire,
and the best tire, because you can theoretically go that to the end of the race. You can pick really. I think if the 1-stop strategy, of course we had the 2-stop. But say if it was the 1-stop strategy this weekend and didn't include the 2-stop, it would have been probably a medium to hard race and pit early and then hards all the way to the end of the race. Because let's face it, why would you need to pit unless you like, of course, pit, but it's Monaco. No one's really going to get past you, are they?
No.
So you can theoretically stay on the same tire for the rest of the race. But yeah, hard tires are the highlight going into this weekend regarding strategy. Isaac Hadjar pulled it off all right, to be fair. Medium, short stint on the soft, and hard to get his strategy out the way. The 2-stop mandatory, which I thought was a good strategy.
Yeah, brilliant. So we're gonna go and get a lap. We're fast forward to lap 19. Lewis pits, puts the hard tires on, keeps his position of 5th place. Lando pits lap 20, puts the hard tires on. Lap 21, Piastri pits, puts the hard tires on. Delay of 3.3 seconds of Piastri. He needs a good outlap for his to cover Leclerc off, because he came in. There was a bit of a delay. Most people were getting 2.2 seconds. Leclerc got a 3.2 seconds. And basically after that, he had to do a fast outlap to try and cover off Leclerc. Charles pits lap 23, puts the hard tires on, 2.1 seconds. So we have at lap 24 for Verstappen without pitting. Norris already pitting, Leclerc 3rd with pitting, and Piastri pitted, and Lewis was in 5th place. So lap 28, Max pits first time, puts the medium tires on. That's why McLaren have the advantage for me. Like we talked about it before, they had the medium to hard tire compound. This is why they kept Max out longer, because I think Red Bull was waiting for a safety car. That's the reason why they didn't bring out Max, which is fair enough. If you know that you're behind and you've got to roll the dice. If with me as a team principal, as an engineer, as a strategist, I'm going to tell my driver, stay out because it's Monaco and there might be a safety car. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I would have done the same thing. I'm talking about Max now, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm about saying that longer waiting for a safety car.
Max had a decent thing going. At the end of the day, he finished fourth, and fourth is still good points for Red Bull. Think about it. But I think it was a good idea because if that safety car, like you said, like we just mentioned, the safety car comes out, all you got. If you're right by the pit stop, you didn't even have to be right by the pit stop. If you make your pit stop, because everyone's under that yellow flag conditions, you'll be all good. Really. So yeah, Verstappen was, I think, doing well. I thought the team did really well, keeping him out there. I know we never finished in a podium, but fourth is still good points. We did get penalised for not taking a mandatory pit stop. We dropped into fourth, and I thought, the decent strategy.
It makes sense, doesn't it? It makes sense. If you got it's Monaco, a safety car could come out anytime. So he knew he was on the back foot, so the roll the dice kept him out there. But it is what it is, isn't it? So lap 28, Max picks first time, like I said, about the medium tires. Lap 38, Alonso retired. Just went off the rack and said the engine's done, walked off. Very simple. Probably went there, done his interview, took a shower. Off probably go and watch. I don't know what he's doing. But the car just packs upon him when he faults. I know a lot of people online. Glad that he retired, but it was weird to me. The total lack of this.
Alonso.
The total disrespect towards Alonso is
to be fair, look, Alonso, the past two races and this race, Aston Martin's been doing so well.
Yeah.
It's probably the mastermind at Adrian Newey. While they're, improving. Because look, for starters, early races, you're not really going to see Adrian Newey's magic because it's just early stages, and Adrian Newey has to get used to the, with the car dynamics and all that, because that's what he's for. That's what leaded Red Bull to that many championships. Some a bit questionable, but that's what led them to that many championships. He's the mastermind of the whole thing. And Aston Martin, you can see the pace is really improving. Alonso was running in fifth place. Aston Martin was, and it was so unlucky, man. Now I've got respect for Alonso, man. He's been in the sport. He's a top two-time championship winner, and you've got to show him respect where it's due. And show nobody should.
It's mad to me.
Like, come on, the guy's fifth place, and he's 40 plus years old. Aston Martin, fifth place. Running not the best car in the world, but it potentially can be in the future. Next season, Aston Martin could be up there. Do you know, like, they've got Adrian Newey now. And you know right. What that means, to have Adrian Newey. I thought Adrian Newey was going to go to Ferrari, and Ferrari was going to be good. Yeah. But Aston Martin, watch out for Aston Martin for next season, because I'm telling you now, if Adrian Newey gets that car right and gets the aerodynamics right and the, adapts to the regulations right, they're one for the future. I think that's why Lando wants to stay there a bit longer, because he might have a chance, And plus, they got the money behind it. They got Lawrence Stroll's dad, absolute billionaire, minted. Got the money behind the team, so that team's. If the team's got money behind it, it's looking good for the future.
Yeah, it's just disrespect, man. So lap 49, Piastri lap 49 puts the hard tires on. He was 2.3 seconds. Charles hard tires lap 50, 2.2 seconds. Norris lap 51, he pitted, put 2.2 seconds, put the hard tires on. That was his. All these are doing their last pits now. George on the run of the runoff area passes Albon, and it was warranted. So basically, George was getting frustrated behind Albon, and he knows if he passed Albon on that runoff area, he knows he's going to get a penalty. So he took the gamble. He passed Albon on by the runoff area. He was expecting the stewards to say, if you don't give the place, we'll give you a 6 second time penalty or whatever, 6 second penalty. He said, I'm going to stay at, because he reckons he could make the time up and finish above Albon by about 10 seconds because he thought he had the most superior car. But what the stewards did, they were clever. They said, you got to come in for a time penalty, stop and go. So we had no choice.
Drive through.
Yeah, that's it. A drive through, I mean. So when he came in, it is what it is, isn't it? So going for bad for worse.
Russell's a bit cheeky.
I think the drivers hate this track.
I'd take the penalty.
I think that.
I've never heard that in my life.
No, but I think the drivers hate this track. The drivers, I think they hate coming here. All right, it's Monaco. You got the glitz and the glamour and all that rubbish. I've been talking about that for years on this channel. But the drivers, I think they secretly hate coming here Because if you don't get pole, you've lost. Let's face it. And even when you go lights on the way we go, the first corner, you're not going to pass no one. It's too short. It's too short. And I think the drivers hate this track. I'm going to say one thing, what made me pop at the end of this race, yeah. I think, I'm not the biggest Max Verstappen fan, yeah, but I popped for this. He was in an interview and was saying, what did you think of the new rules, the mandatory pit stops? And he goes, it still didn't make no difference. He goes, maybe they should change it. We should do Mario Kart. We should all go in He said we should all go in our Mario Karts and we should all get bananas and throw the bananas behind us, try and slip over. Like Mario Kart. When you're in there and you throw the bananas.
The only way you're going to get any enjoyment out of this track is make jokes. That's the only way.
But you know what he said that? I popped. I thought it was funny. I could imagine all of them in little go-karts, yeah, and throwing bananas behind them, trying to make him slip. But basically, we're saying that there's no hope for it. So Lewis Hamilton pits lap 57, 2.5 seconds. He puts his medium tires on. That was his last stint. So when Lewis Hamilton come into the pits, he came out, and I think he was 20-odd seconds behind. He was about 20 seconds behind fourth place, but for some reason he lost time. This is where the investigation is coming in now with the debrief. He literally lost time when he come out of the pits with the medium tires, which was weird. And the Ferrari guy says, "Why did you lose so much time?" And there's Lewis. I ain't got a clue. So lap 68, you can't see Lando. Lando was holding up Leclerc because he wanted Piastri to catch up. He basically said that on the radio. He said, "Where's Piastri?" Tell him to hurry up. Max Verstappen was trying to hold everybody up as well to try and make something happen. And because he needed to pit as well, there was one lap to go. Max Verstappen pits, come out, and he was fourth because he knew he had a free pit stop. The reason why they kept Max Verstappen out for so long to the last lap is because he was waiting for a safety car. Now, if you're a casual fan and you're a Max Verstappen fan and you see Max Verstappen in front of the Grand Prix and you suddenly see him coming and pit a lap before the end, you're going to think, hold on, why did he pit there? Why did Max Verstappen pit? But that was the rule that they brought out with a 2-second mandatory pit. So I like that. I like the idea with the 2-second time penalty. I get it, but they should make it more. They need to change it up. They need to do something. They need to make certain parts of the track wider so there's a chance of an overtake. Because all what's going to happen, we're just going to get this every year. And I think the drivers are getting sick of it. We know why they come to Monaco, because there's a lot of money involved when they come to Monaco. But people need to see entertainment as well, you get me? People need to see it. So at the end, the lap 78, Max pits, and then the winner of the race was Lando Norris. Second, Leclerc. Piastri was third. Max was fourth. And Lewis Hamilton was fifth place. So that's the race review. What's your thoughts on it overall, Toto?
I thought it was crap. Really.
Get you there, man. Get you there.
I think the two-stop strategy didn't really make a difference, really. Quote unquote, Max said should do a Mario Kart race, and I agree with him. We should do a Mario Kart race because this track is abysmal. I never use that word. I don't know where that came from. It was crap. And I don't want to see it again. That's it for the whole season. Just what good for Lando winning the race, but that's it. What enjoyment do we get out of this weekend? We can. Oh yeah, it's two-stop strategy. There's nothing really. It's just an extra stop. Do you know? It's not nothing special. It made it a little bit interesting. You got to admit, but it was crap, and never want to see it again.
So that's the end of the review, guys. That's it, man. We've got tomorrow. We've got on the Even Like Football on the YouTube channel. We're doing a special video. We're doing a team of the year. We're doing a Premier League team of the year, and we're doing a World Team Player of the Year as well. So that'll be interesting. That's going to be a bit of games. That'll be tomorrow because we know the football season finished. And I'm going to be doing a watch along tomorrow regarding the Chelsea game as well. I'm going to be doing that Chelsea game, the final of the Conference League. We'll be doing that on the channel as well. And yeah, that's it, man. That's the end of the video. We never had no views today, but guys, you can watch it on the replay or you can listen to it on audio. Keep It Sports on Spotify or on iTunes. For people listening on the iTunes and Spotify, remember comments and recommend and leave your feedback. If you leave your feedback, it pushes the audio podcast out there for everybody to see. But that's it, man. That's the end of it. That's the end of the Reeve, anything more you want to say, Toto, before we head off into the wildness?
Yeah? Nothing really much to say now.
Okay, as for Formula One content, we will be back on Thursday, and we're going to be doing our Flaming Tarmac. We'll be talking about the up-and-coming weekend, which will be, was it Austria? No, Spain. Very good track, Spain. So there's a lot of overtakes at Spain. We'll be talking about that on Thursday evening. Apart from that, we're going to be heading off. See you later, guys. Big up to everybody. See you later. Bye.